Hey guys, what's up? Today I'm going to be talking about Benjamin Wilson. And who was Benjamin Wilson? Well, you'll find out. Benjamin Wilson was a kid straight out of Chicago that was on his way to superstardom until a senseless act of violence ended his life, ultimately leading to his death. These hoop dreams turned into nightmares. Benjamin Wilson Jr., also referred to as Benji, was an American high school basketball player. Was born on March 18, 1967, from Neil F. Simeon Vocational High School in Chicago, Illinois. With Wilson, the Simeon team won the first time the city and the state championship. Entering his senior season, Wilson was regarded as a top high school player in the U.S. by scouts and coaches attending the 1984 Athlete for Better Education basketball camp. Imagine this. You're the top player. You're trying to win the state champion. You win, and you're one of the top players in the U.S. That was really crazy. He was 6'8" and 190 pounds. Well, now we know that, and let's get into how he grew up and who he hung around, and more facts like that. Grew up on the south side of Chicago with 5 brothers. Ben took to basketball at an early age and would begin practicing as early as 8 a.m. every day. At first, the neighbors weren't not too happy with Ben's practice routine. He soon became an alarm for his neighbors. Mr. Robertson, his younger brothers, marveled at dribbling skills. In his younger years, he was a ball handler. He lacked the height to play inside. Everything changed his sophomore year. He grew 6 to 7 inches in a 3-month period. Damn, that's a lot. Imagine growing that much in that small period, guys. He went from 6 foot to 6'7". Yet he still was able to maintain the grace and ball handling skills of a shorter player. His junior year, Simeon became a force in the Chicago public force. Under the teaching of Coach Bob Hambrick, Wilson thrived that year. Hambrick said of his game, he possessed the same skills as Magic, but he had a better outside shot. He did all of it. He had the ability to change the complexion of any game. If he decided he was going to rebound and block shots, that's what he did. If he decided he was going to go down low and score, he was able to do that. He was able to do anything. After winning the Public League Championship, Simeon advanced to the state tournament. Then he held the Assembly Hall at the University of Illinois. In the quarterfinal game of the state tournament that year, Ben scored 16 points in the first half. The second half, Ben did not see the ball at all. Rock Island tried to deny him the ball at all costs, but it was not enough for Simeon to advance to the semis with a 48-44 win. In the semifinals, Simeon defeated Aurora West 67-58 to advance to the final against unbeaten and number 1 ranked Evanston. Ben had 21 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists. The championship game did not see Ben have his best game. He was in foul trouble and only had 4 points and 5 rebounds. But teammates Tim Bankston and Bobby Tribbley combined for 40 points to lead the Wolverines to their first state title. Ben still made the all-tournament team despite a poor game. In that he just won a championship, he must feel like a god. That spring and summer saw Ben work hard to improve himself for his senior season, both academically and physically. He continued to grow. At summer camps, Ben worked to improve his game to resemble his idols, Magic Johnson and George Gervin. By the end of the summer, Ben was in many recruiters' eyes as the top player in the nation. Ben had narrowed his list of schools down to DePaul in Illinois and Indiana. This fall, Simeon was set to prepare to defend its state championship. This season was set to kick off in Roxford at Boylan Tournament on November 21st. The day before, Ben bumped into a couple youths around noon, a short distance from the school. Events escalated and 2 shots were fired. Both struck Ben. One went through his liver, the other went in his aorta. The prognosis was not good, as Ben lost a lot of blood before he could get to the hospital to have his wounds repaired. At 6 a.m. on November 21st, Ben Wilson died from his wounds 13 hours before the first game. His teammates played on his honor that night, winning 73-50. He was a good player, he was a good man, and hopefully in another world he would have made it. Peace, guys.
You know, I want to be successful, and so I do what it takes to be successful. And that is, you know, when I go home, you know, I study and do my work and go to class.
Kind of corny stuff.
Well, it works.
He was a star high school basketball player on a path to success when someone gunned him down.
27 years ago today, Ben Wilson's murder shook the city. But did it make it any safer? Kristen Hartman met some of Wilson's friends, family, and coaches who hope it still will.
Put the ball in the basket.
Assistant basketball coach Maurice Brown was a student at Simeon when Benji Wilson was the #1 high school player in the country.
Wilson, do.
He would have changed the game at the NBA, wouldn't he?
Yes, he would have.
And he was there when Wilson fell to violence. Kids from another school shot him.
How did it affect people here?
Oh, it hurt a lot. It hurt a lot. It devastated the community.
So much, 27 years later, Wilson's family and friends still hold candlelight vigils to celebrate his memory.
But also call attention to the senseless violence that occurred even back 27 years ago, and it continues to occur today.
Like this summer's deadly shooting of a 13-year-old who was playing basketball. The case wasn't lost on Wilson's family.
That's senseless murder, senseless.
That take it back.